You want to move forward, but everything feels stagnant. Often, when we hit this wall, it's not because we've reached the end of our abilities. It's because we've stopped learning. Growth and learning are deeply connected, and when you're no longer expanding your knowledge or challenging yourself, it's easy to feel trapped. Life is a journey, not a destination. Ralph Waldo Emerson. When we think of life as a destination, we feel stuck when we aren't where we want to be. But if we shift our mindset to view life as an ongoing journey, we start to see that every step, every lesson learned, moves us forward. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. Henry Ford. Learning keeps us alive and vibrant. It refreshes our perspectives and keeps our minds sharp. When we stop learning, we begin to stagnate. Ford's wisdom shows us that lifelong learning is key to staying engaged with life. The only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. Carl Rogers. True education isn't about formal schooling. It's about knowing how to adapt, learn, and grow in every phase of life. If you feel stuck, perhaps it's time to cultivate the skill of learning not just new things, but how to change and evolve with them. In a time of drastic change, it is the learners who inherit the future. The learned usually find themselves beautifully equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. Eric Hoffer. If you've hit a plateau, consider whether you've been relying on old knowledge. The world is constantly changing, and staying ahead means being a continuous learner. It's the act of learning, remaining adaptable, that keeps us aligned with the future. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. W.B. Yeats. You're not stuck because there's nothing left to achieve. You're stuck because you haven't lit that next fire of curiosity. The moment you start learning something new, you ignite a new passion or pathway that can lead you forward. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. B.B. King. When you're feeling stagnant, remember that the knowledge you gain is permanent and powerful. It enriches your life and opens doors that you may not have even seen before. The more you learn, the more equipped you are to face new challenges. Change is the end result of all true learning. Leo Buscaglia. Changes that come from learning. Growth often requires us to shed old habits and adopt new ways of thinking. True learning transforms us, and through that transformation, we find new paths. You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. Richard Branson. We're afraid of making mistakes or trying something new, but learning happens when we take risks, stumble, and then get back up. Don't be afraid of the process. It's through trial and error that we truly learn and grow. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Dr. Seuss. This playful but wise quote from Dr. Seuss reminds us that learning broadens our horizons. If you feel like you're at a standstill, dive into a book or a new subject. Expanding your mind will often open new doors and take you places you never expected. Learning never exhausts the mind. Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci, one of history's greatest minds, knew that curiosity and learning are endless pursuits. If you're feeling drained or unmotivated, learning something new can re-energize your spirit. It doesn't weigh you down. It uplifts you, giving you new life and motivation. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. John Wooden. Often we think we've reached the peak of what we can know or do. Wooden reminds us that the most important learning happens after we think we've mastered something. There's always more to discover, more to grow into. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. Engagement is key to learning. When you feel stuck, maybe it's because you haven't been hands-on enough. Get involved in something, whether it's a project, a new hobby, or even volunteering. Active participation sparks learning in a way that just thinking or reading can't. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin. One of the best ways to move forward in life is to invest in yourself through learning. Whether it's taking a class, acquiring a new skill, or simply expanding your understanding of the world, knowledge is an investment that keeps giving back, helping you break through any barriers you face. Man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. Oliver Wendell Holmes. When you expand your knowledge, you forever change the way you see the world. This is the magic of learning. It gives you a broader perspective. If you're feeling stuck, you may just need to stretch your mind with new ideas, and soon you'll find that the limits you thought existed are gone. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. Albert Einstein. Einstein's brilliance wasn't just about innate intelligence. It was his relentless curiosity. When you feel stuck, stay with the questions. Keep asking, keep digging deeper, and allow the process of learning to guide you toward new answers and opportunities. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. William Faulkner. Learning something new requires stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing uncertainty. When you do, new horizons will start to reveal themselves. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Plutarch. It's not about cramming more information into your brain. It's about sparking your curiosity and igniting that inner fire that pushes you to explore new ideas and possibilities. Learning isn't just accumulation, it's inspiration. The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know. Michel Legrand. Learning humbles us, reminding us that there is always more to discover. If you're feeling stuck, this perspective shift can be freeing. It's okay not to have all the answers. The joy of learning is in the exploration, not the destination. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. Confucius. Confucius emphasizes the importance of balance. If you're learning but not applying what you learn, or if you're thinking without seeking new knowledge, you can feel trapped. The key is to combine learning with thoughtful action. Great things never came from comfort zones. Anonymous. Growth only happens when you push yourself beyond your current boundaries. If you feel stuck, it might be because you've stayed too long in your comfort zone. Learning something new or challenging yourself in a different way can be the nudge you need to get moving again. What we learn with pleasure we never forget. Alfred Mercier. One of the most motivating ways to get unstuck is to find joy in learning. When you pursue knowledge in areas that excite and inspire you, it doesn't feel like work, it feels like passion. This joy can carry you forward and help you overcome feelings of stagnation. There are no limits to what you can accomplish, except the limits you place on your own thinking. Brian Tracy. We tell ourselves we've gone as far as we can, or that we're not capable of more. But by learning, you expand your mind and realize that those limits are self-imposed, and you can go far beyond them. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. Max Dupree. To grow, we must change, and change happens through learning. If you're feeling stuck, it's a sign that you're ready to evolve. Learning new things helps you shed old versions of yourself and step into the person you're becoming. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar. The fear of starting something new keeps us stuck. But as Ziglar points out, greatness begins with the decision to begin. If you're hesitant to learn something new, remember that the first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. While traditional learning has its place, it's self-education, driven by your curiosity and desire to grow, that will truly transform your life. If you're stuck, consider diving into something you're passionate about on your own. This personal pursuit of knowledge can lead to breakthroughs that formal education might never provide. The expert in anything was once a beginner. Helen Hayes. Every expert started as a novice. Allow yourself the grace to be a beginner again, to learn from scratch, and in doing so, unlock new levels of personal growth. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Alvin Toffler. In a fast-changing world, adaptability is everything. If you're stuck, it might be because you're clinging to outdated knowledge or beliefs. Sometimes, learning requires us to let go of what we thought we knew and open ourselves to new perspectives and ways of thinking. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of health. Learning is the beginning of spirituality. Searching and learning is where the miracle process all begins. Jim Rohn. Jim beautifully captures the idea that learning is the foundation of all improvement. Whether it's financial, physical, or spiritual growth, the process begins with learning. Feeling stuck in any area of life often means it's time to seek new knowledge and insights. Do not be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again. Richard Branson. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. Learning from setbacks and starting again with that new knowledge can propel you forward in ways you never imagined. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. Zig Ziglar. The power of learning lies in your willingness to embrace it. When you're determined to learn, no obstacle can truly hold you back. If you feel stuck, rekindling that determination to learn something new can make all the difference. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. Abigail Adams. Real progress comes from actively seeking out knowledge and putting in the effort to grow. When you approach learning with passion and commitment, you'll find yourself moving forward again. The greatest obstacle to discovery is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. Daniel J. Boorstin. Boorstin reminds us that it's this false sense of knowing that blocks growth. Letting go of that illusion and staying open to new learning is the key to discovery and progress. If we encounter a man of rare intellect, we should ask him what books he reads. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Learning from others, whether through conversations or by reading what they read, can provide the fresh perspectives and wisdom needed to get unstuck. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi's timeless wisdom encourages us to approach life with urgency and learning with eternity in mind. When you feel stagnant, adopting this mindset can push you to both live fully and constantly learn, as if every day brings new opportunities to expand your world. Wisdom is not a product of schooling but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Albert Einstein. Einstein reminds us that wisdom is earned through continuous effort to learn over a lifetime. You're never done growing, and the pursuit of knowledge is what keeps life dynamic and interesting. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Albert Schweitzer. At times you may lose sight of the joy in what you're doing. Learning how to reconnect with your passions, or even learning something new that excites you, can reinvigorate your sense of purpose and bring happiness, which in turn fuels success. It's what you learn from those failures that will make you a success. Sheryl Sandberg. Don't fear mistakes. They're essential for learning and growth. If you're stuck, look back at the failures or obstacles you faced and consider the lessons they hold. Often, it's the learning we take from setbacks that pushes us forward again. Do not confine your children to your own learning, for they were born in another time. Chinese proverb. This proverb reminds us that learning is not static. It evolves with time. Learning to adapt to new knowledge, especially in today's fast-changing world, can help you break free from stagnation. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Confucius. Feeling overwhelmed by a big challenge? Start by learning in small, manageable steps. Progress often comes from accumulating small wins through learning and action. Bit by bit, you'll find yourself making significant headway. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. C.S. Lewis. Age and experience don't limit your ability to learn or set new goals. If you're feeling stuck, perhaps it's time to revisit your dreams or set new ones. Continuous learning can fuel those dreams, no matter what stage of life you're in. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Thomas Jefferson. If you want to create change, embrace learning something new, stepping outside your comfort zone, or trying a completely different approach. It's through new actions that new opportunities arise. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Jimi Hendrix. You need to stop, listen, and reflect rather than push for answers. Learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about gaining wisdom from experience and observation. When you truly listen, the right path often becomes clearer. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Jim Rohn. If you want to break free from feeling stuck, you have to embrace change, and that often means learning something new. Whether it's a skill, a mindset, or a habit, learning brings about the change needed for your life to improve. One learns by doing a thing. For though you think you know it, you have no certainty until you try. Sophocles. Theoretical knowledge isn't enough. Learning through experience is where true understanding comes. If you're feeling stuck, maybe it's time to stop planning and start doing. The act of learning through experience often leads to breakthroughs. Happy learning.